Amina had spent the past 3 years meticulously planning her revenge, her mind clouded with anger and grief. Her mother's death had ignited a fire within her, and the rumor that Theo's wealthy parents were behind the tragedy only fueled her determination. She had given her son away for adoption, a decision that haunted her every day but also served as the cornerstone of her vengeful plan. As Matthew, her son, turned 6, Theo kept his promise and brought Amina into their home as his tutor. The stage was set for her to execute her plan. Theo introduced Amina as a highly recommended tutor from a family friend. Vicky, busy with her role as the planning and strategy director of the family's business, was delighted at the prospect of having a dedicated tutor for Matthew. Despite the arranged nature of her marriage to Theo, Vicky was committed to making it work. She had a warm and pleasant personality, quickly welcoming Amina into her home without a hint of suspicion. She never suspected that the kind and attentive tutor was actually the mother of the child she had come to love as her own. Amina quickly bonded with Matthew, showering him with attention and care. She read him bedtime stories, took him on little adventures, and often fell asleep beside him. Vicky, grateful for the help, frequently expressed her appreciation. "This is the best tutor we've ever had," she told Theo one night as they peered into Matthew's room, watching Amina asleep next to him. "She's taken such a load off my shoulders." Unbeknownst to Vicky, Amina's involvement in their lives went far beyond tutoring. She had succeeded in seducing Theo, rekindling their forbidden romance in the shadows. They met discreetly, sometimes sneaking off to a hotel to avoid suspicion. As if that was not enough, Amina began planting seeds of doubt in Theo's mind, subtly turning him against his parents and even against Vicky. She whispered that his parents were too controlling and painting Vicky as an ambitious woman with a hidden agenda to take over the company. "You know," Amina would say, her voice low and persuasive, "Vicky might seem pleasant, but she's always so focused on the business. Have you ever wondered if she has her own plans?" Theo, already feeling the weight of his family's expectations, began to see his wife in a new light. The once stable marriage started to fracture as Theo grew increasingly suspicious of Vicky. Their arguments became more frequent and intense, often over trivial matters. Despite the growing tension, Vicky remained kind and attentive, cooking meals for Theo and ensuring he had everything he needed for work. She was determined to keep their marriage intact, even as the cracks widened. One day, Vicky came home early from work, seething with anger. She had just learned that Theo had made a significant business decision without consulting her, a move that directly undermined her position in the company. She stormed into the house, her heels clicking sharply against the marble floors, and made her way to the tutor's room, hoping to vent her frustrations to Amina. But as she opened the door, she froze, her eyes widening in shock. There, in the dimly lit room, were Theo and Amina, locked in a passionate embrace. The betrayal hit Vicky like a physical blow, leaving her breathless. Her mind raced as she tried to process what she was seeing. Her jaw dropped, and for a moment, she couldn't move, couldn't speak. The image of her husband and the woman she had trusted with her son shattered her world. Theo and Amina sprang apart, their faces pale with guilt and surprise. "Vicky, Theo stammered, at a loss for words. Amina quickly composed herself, her expression unreadable. The air was thick with tension, the silence deafening. Vicky's eyes filled with tears, her voice barely a whisper. "How could you?" she choked out, her heart breaking. She turned on her heel and fled the room, her footsteps echoing through the halls as she ran to the car and drove away at a very fast speed. As the door slammed behind her, Theo and Amina were left standing in the ruins of their secret affair. The consequences of their actions were about to unravel in the most dramatic way possible. Vicky's discovery was just the beginning. Would she confront Theo and demand the truth? Would she expose Amina's true identity and the deception that had infiltrated her home? And how would Amina's plan for revenge unfold now that her secret was out? The answers to these questions and more will be revealed in Part 3 where the drama escalates and the true extent of Amina's schemes comes to light. Stay tuned for more twists and turns in this tale of love, betrayal, and retribution. Follow, like, share, and repost, for I am posting exciting stories like these every day.